Przejdziemy dzisiaj piąty epizod Law and Order Legacies.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Come on, Henry. The store's across the street. No holding hands now. Just follow my voice. One day you're going to have to do all this on your own. I don't like the look of this.
Hey, y'all the ones who shot PK!
Yeah, whatever, man. Gangbanging ain't for you, son. Stay in school.
Yo, say that again in my face, son!
Take my hand now, Henry. Let's get inside. No. There's no call for that. Mama?
Nina!
Mama?
Burian, masz już książkę Archona?
Detectives?
Hey, Fontana. What do we got?
The victim is one Shar Jackson, age 26, lived in the neighborhood. She was walking with her son Henry when she apparently got caught in the crossfire during a gang dispute. The crack security guard they got here claims he saw most of it.
What about the kid? He see the shooter?
No, kid's blind.
Oh, well, anything else?
Guard claims he saw two cars leave the scene, but didn't get makes or models. Lucky for us, he's a car guy. Says the engine on one was really loud. Let me walk you through what CSU picked up. Got a receipt dated today. 4 bottles of Mad Scott. Someone was getting the drink on. 3 shell casings, maybe from the 9mm we found. We found this baby. I thought we had our murder weapon, but now I'm not so sure.
Saturday night special. Fake wooden handle. Man, this thing is a piece of, work.
Over there we got
Ciekawe,
some
jaki
gang
ci się
graffiti.
trafił autograf.
PK it says.
PK?
Probably a tag, one of the locals. We're
Ja mam
asking
sam
around.
podpis w niebieskim
Bunch of
kolorze,
beer bottles. Hoping to get some DNA.
bez żadnych
We got a
podkreśleń,
can of spray paint,
rysunków.
freshly used. Maybe get some prints off that. And that's about the size of it.
Find any cigarette butts or anything? I'm hoping to get lucky with another DNA hit.
Nah, nothing like that, unfortunately. The place was pretty clean for this part of town. Maybe someone swept up last night. Hard to say. Oh, and one more thing.
What's that?
The kid doesn't know his mom's dead yet.
Guess we're clear. Let's talk to our witnesses.
We should start with the boys so CPS can get him out of here. Hi there. It's Henry, right? I'm Olivia. And this, with me is my partner, Ray. Henry, I know this is really hard, but we need to ask you some questions so we can help your mom, okay?
Is she dead?
Do you have any family we can call for you, Henry?
We don't have anybody, my mama and me.
Henry, did your mom believe in heaven?
We go to church every Sunday. She sings in the choir.
Well, your mom is in heaven now. That's where she'll be when you see her again. A long time from now. Henry, we can do this another time. Are you sure there isn't anyone we can call?
I can tell you what happened. I heard everything.
Did you hear the gunshots, Henry?
I heard 3, one after the other. My ears still hurt.
Can you point to where you heard them from?
Over there.
Może po prostu znajdę te informacje. Dobra. Póki nie ma dużo tych rozmów do sprawdzenia, mogłem sobie poszukać.
Did you hear anything unusual before your mother was shot, Henry?
There was a fight.
Was your mother involved?
They were gangbangers, my mama called them one time. They started shouting and cussing each other. Then I heard them fighting.
Could you tell if they were close or far away?
There. They were over there. One of them said, "Y'all the one who shot PK," and then the others, they just laughed. And then that's when they started to fight.
Jejku, nie wiem. Masz jakiś pomysł, Burian? No to nie zgadłeś, Burian.
I want to make sure I understand, Henry. You pointed one way when we asked you where the fight happened, but you pointed the other way when we asked you where the shots came from.
Uh-huh.
What else did you hear, besides the shots?
When one of the men who were fighting yelled, "Say that to my face," right before the shots. Afterward, I heard another man cry out the name Nina.
Nina. You're sure?
Yes, ma'am. First the gunshots, then he said Nina, then everybody ran.
You said everyone ran after the shots were fired. How could you tell, Henry?
I heard feet on the pavement. A couple of people ran that way. Then I heard some other people get inside a car behind me, out on the street. They screeched their tires when they drove off.
Probably our gangbangers leaving the scene. Anything else?
Yeah, I heard another car over there. Someone got in and drove away real fast.
To akurat zapamiętałem.
Henry, did you hear anything when the cars drove away? Maybe a funny noise, like a rattle or a squeak?
I heard a Dodge Charger with a 5.7-liter Hemi V8. It was the one parked over there.
Wow. How could you tell, Henry?
I heard the door ringing when they opened it. Dodge Charger's the only car makes that noise when you open the door with the key still inside.
We believe you, Henry. But how do you know that?
My pastor's son used to have the same car before he left for college. I know everything about that car. I even helped him fix it.
We'll check it out.
Thanks, Henry. Go see Officer Fontana for a second, okay?
He's a smart kid.
Brave, too.
He believes what he heard, but will any of this hold up in court?
Well, I believe it, too. You trust my instincts?
So far, but I gotta be honest. I'm worried you might be a little compromised here.
Compassion for an 11-year-old who just lost his mother doesn't compromise me, Curtis.
Hey, I want to nail the scumbag who did this just as much as you. Let's talk to our other witness.
Dobrze poszła ta pierwsza rozmowa.
About time. You know it took 20 minutes for the squad
David
guys to get
zemsta.
here? Not that I blame them.
How's that?
Look around you, detective. They shoot each other every day out here. They even shoot at the paramedics that come to help them. They're animals.
Who?
All this gangbanger scum. This neighborhood used to be great. You never worried about anything.
Paradise, huh?
Anyway, I saw the whole thing. Go ahead, ask me anything.
You see who took the shots?
Not exactly. There was too many of them. But I know they came from the gangbangers that were tearing up the asphalt in the parking lot.
How can you be sure?
I saw the whole thing. First they were fighting, the next minute, bam, bam! Just 2 shots, that's all it took. Then they scatter like rats.
Nie, no były 3 strzały.
Actually, we found 3 shell casings.
You did? Weird.
Where were you when all this was happening?
In the store. I came out not long after the fight started.
Did you see anyone else in the parking lot besides the gangbangers?
Nah, honestly, I love it when gangbangers kill each other. But if I'd have seen that lady and her kid, I would have called the police sooner, you know?
So, no one else besides the bangers, the kid, and his mom?
No.
You know what, David? Your story doesn't jibe real well with the other witness testimony.
Who? Some blind kid?
Maybe we should take this conversation downtown. Let you sit in the tank for a while.
Wait, I remember. I went to the alley for a smoke break.
No, może to
When
on
I
jest
finished,
winny,
I
bo się
started
chciał
walking back towards the
zemścić.
store, and that's when the fight broke out. Okay?
Nie wiem, może to? No bo nie było żadnej wzmianki o tym.
Smoke break? That's what you're going with.
We didn't find any evidence of smoking in the alley, David. Though we did find an empty 6-pack of beer.
You mind giving us a swab of your DNA? For comparison.
What?
You'd do that for us, right? Do your part to clean up the neighborhood?
All right, fine. I was back there drinking.
So let's try this again. What did you see?
I was just inside the alley. I was having a beer. I saw the gangbangers getting into it.
You recognize any of these guys?
One of them was called Lil Doc. He's been looking to cap someone.
Not Shar Jackson.
No, some other banger killed his homie PK.
Like the tag in the alley.
Yeah, and he'll do it too. He's got a gun.
How do you know?
'Cause he shoved it right in my face once when I told him to leave the store.
So you got a good look?
Yeah, cheap little Saturday night special. Silver, fake wooden handle. Looked like a Glock, but it was obviously a knockoff. What a joke.
Jejku, nie wiem. Może teraz mówi prawdę? Ale nie wiem dlaczego.
You said you saw 2 cars leaving the scene. You remember makes and models? Plates?
One of them was really loud, like a V8, something big. Turned to look when the driver gunned it. I caught some of the plate.
Trudno.
You get a look at whoever bought the bottle of Mad Scott earlier?
Hell no, I'm not a damn cashier. To tell you what, shouldn't be hard to figure it out. We're the only store that sells that garbage in like 100 miles. No one else will touch it. But the good citizens around here seem to like it.
Okay, David, sit tight. We may be back later. So what do we got? The testimony of an 11-year-old who can't see and a security guard hiding in the alley.
We got a partial license plate and a name.
I'll call the gang unit, see if they can put a name to Little Doc before someone else gets hurt during his little turf war.
Henry, it's Olivia again. Officer Fontana is going to take you to Child Services, where you'll be safe.
Can I come home with you?
I'm sorry, Henry, but I'll come see you tonight. I promise.
I don't want to leave my mama.
I'll go with her. I promise. Hey, Curtis, listen, can you handle the vehicle search?
Don't give it a second thought. Go.
Thanks for covering. Any hits on Little Doc?
Not yet. Gang unit hasn't got back to me, and CSU is still looking at the weapon we recovered.
The license plate?
Dodge Charger, registered to a Mr. Scott Leonard, lives half a mile from the Busy Mart.
Well, well, well.
Detective Curtis, you have a guest. I put him in room 2.
Do we know each other?
Oh, I know you. Been making noise, spreading my name around.
Lil Doc? You're Tarvarius Sims. I've read your rap sheet.
One and the same.
Nice to meet you, Sims. Now, if you pardon the question, why the hell are you here? It's hard to believe you're just doing your civic duty.
Maybe I want to clear the air. Maybe your idea of who I am and how I operate ain't all that accurate, detective.
All right, so where were you Tuesday, Sims?
Little League, Boy Scouts, evening prayers. You know how we do.
Does your Boy Scout troop give you badges for shooting innocent women?
Man, I wasn't nowhere near that place.
We have an eyewitness who saw you in the parking lot, Sims.
Your little turf war.
Yeah, you catch the guy who started shooting?
Maybe. I'm looking at him. Some people said it was you.
Man, I don't even own a gun.
So what was it? Revenge for your homie, PK?
It ain't nothing like that.
Did you ever own a gun, Tarvarius?
Hell no, I don't have a gun.
Our friend David Zemsta says otherwise. He even identified your little Saturday night special.
David who?
The security guard.
Oh, him?
If it wasn't you that shot Shar Jackson, then who was it?
Lady, I don't know. We was fighting, okay? Yeah, I pulled my 9, and I told him to back off. That's when we heard the shots.
From where? Who?
Hell if I know. You hear shots in my neighborhood, you run. For a minute, I thought it was them. They probably thought it was us.
You sure it wasn't?
Nah, my homies wasn't strapped. And I found out later neither were the other ones. I'm telling you this. The shots came from somewhere else, yo.
No kurde.
We have a witness telling us the 9mm
Tutaj
we
kłamie,
found at the
tam
crime
mówi
scene
prawdę.
belonged to
Niech się
you.
zdecyduje.
Who you got as a witness, man? The KKK or the Super K? Maybe he just got his wish.
What's that supposed to mean?
He's a racist. Hangs out with them other bald-headed hoodbillies. Always following black folk around the store, kicking us out.
What? You didn't fill out a complaint form?
Whatever, man. Last time I was in there, he starts up with me, so I pulled my 9. Put it in his face. Crazy-ass white boy didn't even flinch.
Mówił coś takiego ten ochroniarz.
Yeah, we heard the story.
Oh, yeah? Well, did he tell you how he's gonna shoot me like a dog and how a race war is coming?
Nope. That's interesting. All right, Sims. Assuming the ballistics comes back negative on your gun,
Which it will.
who do you figure for the shooter?
Let's see. Black kids on the street getting shot at, black lady dead, and a racist white security guard? Gee, I really have no idea.
We'll check him out.
Hey, that lady, she's the mother of that blind kid, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I seen him around. He okay?
No, Sims. Not really.
Sorry to hear that. It ain't right.
Don't leave town. We may need to talk to you again.
There goes my trip to the French Riviera.
No już poszło trochę gorzej.
How'd it go with Sims?
He admits to being there and to owning the gun, but claims he's not the shooter. We're waiting on CSU.
I had them move it to the top of the pile. The 9mm slugs that killed Shar Jackson were a match for the shell casings found at the scene, which are not a match for the gun you found. They had to fix it just to test fire it.
So where does that leave us?
With this, check out what I just found. David Zemsta, our security guard. Turns out he belongs to an organization he didn't mention to us. Here's a little video he posted to his blog.
White power. Hey everyone, it's me, David Z. Big say Kyle to all you freedom fighters out there. Today's video is going to be about how to foster black on black violence with just a simple can of spray paint. Simply tag a wall or building in a rival gang's alley. Even better if you can slur one of their dead. They hate that. Remember, resistance by any means necessary.
I'd say the security guard is a pretty safe bet.
I knew there was something I didn't like about you the first second I saw you.
'Cause my skin is white?
We found some graffiti in the alley behind your store. Pretty nasty stuff. The kind of thing might start a local gang war.
The wind blows and it starts a gang war. So what?
What do you think would happen if somebody tagged over PK's name?
How the hell would I know? I got no idea.
O, czyżby?
You spelled it out for us on the White Nation Socialist website. Find a tag, cross it out, add a rival's tag.
We found a can of black spray paint in the alley. I'm betting your prints are all over it.
It was just an idea, protected by the First Amendment. It doesn't prove that I actually shot anyone.
One more chance. Who was the shooter?
I told you already. Lil Doc, Tarvaria Sims. I saw him shoot that woman.
Chyba to? Jednak nie.
Wrong again, amigo. So much for the superiority of the Aryan race. Sims's gun was not a match.
You know, I just remembered. It wasn't Tarvarius who took those shots. It was someone from the other gang. The guys from Houston Street.
Yeah?
Sure, yeah. Saw the whole thing, remember?
No kurde.
Yeah, I remember. I remember you told us you didn't see the shooting. Benson, let's book this punk. Send him to Rikers and let the brothers there teach him about peace, love, and racial harmony.
You look good for this, Zemsta. You got a history of hate speech against blacks. You have access to a weapon. You know the gang's involved. All I need now is a pretty little bow.
Damn it. No.
No? No what?
He was white. The shooter. Guy in the Charger. White guy. Damn idiot.
You're saying Scott Leonard was the shooter?
Yeah, I saw him there about an hour before. Nice car. He was in our lot like 4 times this week. He'd just drink in the parking lot and sit there for hours. I told him to leave once, and he flashed a gun at me. Thought he was there to buy drugs or something.
Oh, yeah? What was he drinking? What did the car look like?
The real cheap stuff. Mad Scotsman. The car was black with a big blue stripe. Charger, I think.
Chyba tak. Dobrze. Kurczę, Burian, co ty byś zaznaczył? No, to, że pierwsze i trzecie nie, to wiadomo. Czwarte, no dobra, zobaczmy. No nie. Jednak
I hate
nie.
to say it, but he's making a positive ID here.
And would finally prove what Henry's been telling us about where he heard the shots.
Why did he have to be white?
You were supposed to protect people, you sad, sick piece of trash. Now a mother is dead and her kid is an orphan because you were too busy trying to start your race war.
It's coming whether you want it or not.
Go to hell.
I'm done talking. You guys don't have anything to hold me.
I knew there was something I didn't...
Dobra, przeklikajmy
You
to.
found some What do you...
How the hell would I know? I got no idea.
Jejku, tylko co ja teraz zaznaczałem? Dobra, tutaj było to.
You spelled it out.
We...
It doesn't...
Do you know what they do to guys?
I'll be sick.
There's always...
One more chance.
I told you already.
Aha, i wtedy to zaznaczyłem, no i to było źle. Kurczę, znowu źle.
Wrong again.
You know...
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Saw the whole thing.
Yeah, I remember. I remember you told us you didn't see the shooting. Benson, let's book it.
You look good for...
Damn it.
No.
He was the shoot.
Yours...
Yeah. He was in our lot like...
Oh, yeah.
The car was...
I hate to say it, but he's making a positive ID here.
And would finally prove what Henry's been telling us about where he heard the shots.
Why did he have to be white?
You were supposed to protect people, you sad, sick piece of trash. Now a mother is dead and her kid is an orphan because you were too busy trying to start your race war.
It's coming whether you want it or not.
Go to hell.
Everything's starting to make sense.
Really? I was thinking just the opposite.
Either way, we gotta check out Scott Leonard. Mr. Scott Leonard?
Yeah?
I'm Detective Benson. This is Detective Curtis. We've got a warrant to search your garage.
You cops?
Perceptive.
What are we drinking today, Mr. Leonard?
Mad Scotsman. That's funny, because I'm a mad Scot.
Ojej, no
Today's
bardzo
a work
zabawne.
day. Where are your people?
Laid them all off 2 years ago. Can't afford them. Economy.
Right, well, this shouldn't take long. Keep an eye out for the 9mm.
It'd be nice to find something that would go to motive, too.
Lenny Briscoe used to grab newspaper clippings, old photos, letters, and whatever else he could find. Sometimes it helped the DA establish motive in court.
Thanks. Good tip.
A co my tu mamy?
9mm. 3 rounds missing from the clip.
Kiepsko schowana była ta broń.
Leo and Nina. Our first anniversary. A box of ammo.
Jest
Looks
amunicja.
like it's for a 9mm. We can compare these to the casings we found at the scene. April 12th, 2010. Still no suspects in carjacking murder of Alphabet City woman. Woman's name is Nina Juarez. Nina!
No i super.
I think we got enough here. Mr. Leonard, I've been through the garage, and I gotta say, I got more questions.
On się nie przejmuje.
We found a gun in the garage, a 9mm. Yours?
A gun? No way. I got 2-3 people working for me out in my garage. Could belong to any one of them.
Jejku, nie wiem. Powiedzmy, że nie. Nie mam pojęcia. Pamiętasz, Burian? A drugie.
That's funny. I remember you saying you laid them off 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, it's mine. I need it for protection. Gangbangers always trying to bust
No ale
into
o
my
to mi
shop.
chodziło. Jejku.
Who's Nina?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Strange,
Mogłem dokładniej
because I found a
przeczytać.
picture of you and her together. You look quite cozy.
Dosłownie znalazłem te informacje
Probably just
przecież.
someone from church. Sometimes these single ladies get cozy at the mixers. I can't remember their names.
A tutaj które? No to niech będzie pierwsza w takim razie. Fuck. A może to właśnie była druga?
Leo and Nina. 1 year
Kurde.
anniversary.
Okay.
Czyli jednak to
Nina
była
was a
znowu
girlfriend
druga
of
opcja.
mine. We was even engaged. So what?
So that's twice you lied to us about knowing.
Ale szkoda, że
Kinda
ja
makes
nie
me
mogę
wonder what else
podejrzeć
you
tych
lied
znalezionych rzeczy.
Where's Nina now?
We broke up. She moved somewhere down south. I got a postcard from her around here somewhere.
Jejku, nie wiem. Zaryzykuję. Fuck.
We know she was killed in a carjacking. We know that's why you're hurting.
The Charger was her car. I bought it for her, but it was hers. She was just stopped at a red light when it happened. Those animals, those bangers, they killed her. Sims and his crew. Nina was everything to me. You don't know what it's like to find love so late in life. You grip it strong with both hands. But she just disappeared.
Mr. Leonard,
Great.
we found a...
A gun? No way. I got two.
That's funny. I remember you saying you laid them off 2 years ago.
O to chodziło.
Oh, yeah, it's mine. I need it for protection. Gangbangers always trying to bust into my shop.
Who's Nina?
I don't know.
Strange.
Probably.
Leo and Nina. 1 year...
Oh,
So that's twice you lied to us about knowing her. Kinda makes me wonder what else you're lying about.
Where's Nina now?
we broke up. She.
We know she was killed in a carjacking. We know that's why you're hurting.
The Charger was her car. I bought it for her, but it was hers. She was just stopped at a red light when it happened. Those animals, those bangers, they killed her. Sims and his crew. Nina was everything to me. You don't know what it's like to find love so late in life. You grip it strong with both hands. But she just disappeared.
If you did something in that parking lot...
No, it wasn't me shot that poor woman. I ain't never shot a gun before in my life, I swear.
No nie, no dosłownie znalazłem tutaj pistolet. Jejku, 3 czy 2? Fuck.
The clip in your gun is missing 3 rounds. I'm betting we find them in Shar Jackson's body.
Scott Leonard, you're under arrest for the murder of Shar Jackson. Anything you do or say can and will be used against you.
I don't know if the boy's up to this. Are you sure this is gonna hold up in court?
Me and Curtis looked into it. The Neurological Center at Columbia did a study where they confirmed that kids like Henry, who are blind since birth, are twice as likely to hear better than people who can see.
It's not just what he heard. He was very specific about where he heard it coming from.
The same study shows that blind people were much better at being able to pinpoint the specific location of a sound they heard. It's like the part of the brain reserved for sight gets put to work on this other stuff, including hearing.
But shouldn't we use a real lineup for this?
This is better. Our tech guy recorded these samples taking into account the acoustics of the parking lot and the approximate distance the shooter was from the boy.
Okay, but if this comes back to bite us...
All right, Henry. I just want you to listen to these recordings and tell me which one is the voice you heard.
Okay, detective.
Nina.
Nina. Nina.
Nina!
No, a nie mogę posłuchać jeszcze raz?
Nina.
O, mogę posłuchać.
Nina. Nina.
Nina!
Nina.
Nina!
Dobrze.
That one. That's the guy.
Good job. I think we got him. Thank you, Henry. You really did your mama proud.
I tried extra hard. You know, for her. I know you was worried I couldn't.
I didn't mean for you to hear that.
It's all right. She said ain't everybody in this world always gonna give me a fair chance. Are you gonna catch the guy who killed her?
I don't need to catch him. You just did. Why can't we work out a deal here? Is Scott Leonard really a murderer?
He became one when he killed Shar Jackson. I want murder too. Maximum sentence. Make an example.
Well, we got the gun.
He says it was self-defense. The gang fight put him in fear of his life.
Plus, we got the kid's testimony, and he ID'd Scott Leonard's voice.
Ugh, not so fast. Judge just granted the defense motion to suppress the auditory lineup.
On what grounds?
Unreliable evidence. Without the lineup, we can't introduce Nina, and without Nina, we don't have a revenge angle.
Talk to the detectives again. We need to shore up our case.
So, who else we got?
A racist security guard and a gangbanger.
Great. Well, of the two evils, who would you put on the stand?
I hate to say it, but probably the security guard.
Really?
Yeah, you put Tarvarius Sims on the stand and the jury is only going to see his color. The defense will introduce his criminal record and they'll play the race card and say he doesn't like Scott Leonard because he's white.
Detective Curtis, I'm impressed at your grasp of sleazy courtroom ethics.
This ain't my first rodeo.
No ciekawe jak
Mr.
pójdzie.
Zemsta, tell us about what you saw on the day of the shooting.
Just another day in the asphalt jungle, Mr. Cutter. You know how it
Po
is.
ostatnich
I'm trying to
dwóch
keep order. I
rozprawach
got a bunch
nie
of bangers
liczę na
outside the
wiele.
parking lot, aiming to shoot each other up.
So you saw two rival gangs squaring off. Did you recognize anyone?
No, not anyone in particular. All them bangers look the same to me.
You didn't know anyone in the gangs?
No.
Co? Nie to?
Mr. Zemsta, you told police you recognized Tarvarius Sims.
Oh yeah, right. I guess I did.
The hell? Why didn't Cutter coach this kid? We need a little polish here.
This might be the polish.
Other than the gangs, can you remember anyone else?
Kid, his mom. Tragedy. Real tragedy.
Zastanawiam się między pierwszym i czwartym. No kurde.
Anyone else?
Your Honor, please. If Mr. Cutter digs any deeper, he's gonna need a pickaxe. This is clearly leading.
Last chance, Mr. Cutter.
You sure you didn't see anyone you can remember?
Not really.
Your Honor, permission to treat witnesses hostile.
Permission granted, Mr. Cutter. Hope you know what you're doing.
Mr. Zemsta, you will now answer my questions with a simple yes or no, and you will answer them truthfully, or the DA's office will charge you with obstruction and perjury. Is that crystal clear?
Yes.
On the day of the shooting, did you see the defendant on the premises of your shop?
Yes.
Dobra, Burian, teraz ty, tak czy nie? Burian. Ale przynajmniej poprawimy teraz wynik. Mam nadzieję przynajmniej.
Mr. Zemsta, tell us...
Just another...
So you didn't know...
No.
Mr. Zemsta, you told police you recognized Tarvarius Sims.
Oh yeah, right. I guess I did.
The hell? Why didn't...
This...
Other than the gang.
Kid.
Ojejku, Burian, kogo zaznaczyłem za pierwszym razem? Ciekawe, czy to pamiętasz? No ale moment, teraz pytanie, czy czwarta to jest prawidłowa odpowiedź? Nie, to nie była dobra odpowiedź, jejku.
Anyone else?
Your Honor, please. If Mr. Cutter digs any...
Last chance.
You sure you didn't see...
Not really.
Your Honor, permission to treat...
Permission...
Mr. Zemsta,
Yes.
on the day of...
Yes.
Znajdziemy odpowiedź na to pytanie. Jejku, nie wiem. No ale trafiłem.
How long was he there for?
I think an hour.
Szkoda, że za dobrą odpowiedź dostaję plus 10, ale za złą minus 20. Fuck.
Did you recognize the model of the car he drove?
Yes, it was a Challenger.
Co? To nie był ten samochód? Jejku!
Mr. Zemsta, tell us about what you saw on the day of the shooting.
Just another day in the asphalt jungle, Mr. Cutter. You know how it is. I'm trying to keep order, and I got a bunch of bangers outside in the parking lot aiming to shoot each other up.
So you saw two rival gangs squaring off. Did you recognize anyone?
No. No.
Mr. Zemsta, you told police you recognized Tarvarius Sims.
Oh yeah, right. I guess I did.
The hell?
Other than the gang.
Kid.
Burian, może naszykuj jakiś poradnik?
Anyone else?
Your Honor, please.
Last chance, Mr. Cut.
You sure you didn't see anyone?
Daj znać, jak coś znajdziesz.
Not really.
Żebym wiedział, że w razie czego mogę zapytać.
Your Honor, permission to treat witnesses.
Permission.
Mr. Zemsta.
Yes.
On the day.
Yes.
How long was he there for?
I think an hour.
No dobra, no to jaka tutaj jest odpowiedź? No i super, dzięki Burian.
Did you recognize the model of the car he drove?
Yes, it was a Challenger.
Charger. Dlatego mi się
You
pomyliło.
told police it was a Charger. Are you changing your testimony?
Też na 3.
No, I mean a Charger. I just forgot. I'm nervous.
And finally, did you see him speed away from the scene of the crime?
Yes.
Tak czy nie? Chociaż na tym etapie chyba jak się pomylę, to nic nie szkodzi. No ale już zróbmy to idealnie.
Thank you.
Your witness, Mr.
Burian, jak
Antonio.
to nie?
Mr. Zemsta, are you a racist?
Objection. Your Honor.
No dobra, no to powiedz mi, co tutaj będzie.
Relevance?
Mr. Zemsta's racial beliefs may affect his testimony against my client.
Your client is white. You're gonna have to do better than that. Objection sustained.
Mr. Zemsta, did you see Scott shoot the victim?
No.
Why? Were you doing something else?
Yes.
What?
Hiding.
Where?
In the alley.
So you didn't see the actual shooting?
No.
Because you were hiding in the alley?
Yes.
What kind of cowardly security guard are you? Hiding in the alley?
O, obraża!
Objection!
Obraża!
Defense is badgering the witness.
Sustained. Watch it, Mr. Antonio.
You have an alcohol problem, don't you?
What? No.
It's a known fact that you drank on the job. You told the police as much.
I guess.
So it's safe to say you were probably drunk that day.
Objection!
Spekulacje.
Speculation.
Pyk.
Defense is taking this one too far.
Sustained.
Regardless, your status as an eyewitness leaves much to be desired.
Nie potrzebuję żadnych
No further
poradników.
questions.
Your Honor, redirect.
Go ahead, Mr. Cutter.
Mr. Zemsta, had you in fact seen Mr. Leonard parked in the lot for several months prior to the shooting? And did you see him that day only minutes before?
No. No, that's not right, Mr. Cutter.
Wiesz co, Burian, żartowałem. Co tutaj mam wybrać?
It wasn't several months prior. It was only a couple of days, Mr. Cutter. And he was in his car for like an hour before the shooting started.
Thank you. No further questions.
Ouch.
I know, Jack. I know. But without the boy, we got no other options.
Then get the boy's testimony back in.
Defense suppressed the audio lineup.
Then unsuppress it.
Well, Mr. Cutter, Miss Carmichael, why don't you tell us what's on your mind?
Your Honor, the people's case is being hampered by the exclusion of Henry Jackson's testimony. He was an eyewitness, an ear witness, in fact, to this murder.
Your Honor, this idea is based on voodoo science and old wives' tales.
It's based on hard science, Your Honor.
Save the rhetoric for the trial. I've read your briefs. Let's hear your arguments.
Let's examine Henry's enhanced auditory ability.
Your Honor, enhanced auditory perception on behalf of the blind is based on anecdotes and assumption. No studies have confirmed this ability.
Your Honor,
I
no
skąd
less
ja
an
miałem to
authority than
wiedzieć?
The Neurological Center at Columbia University has confirmed it.
Yes, I saw the data. It is impressive.
A similar study conducted on men and women rendered blind as teenagers found almost no difference in auditory perception between them and test subjects who can see. The blind can't hear any better than the rest of us.
No a tutaj? Ale czy takie informacje padały w tym epizodzie?
Columbia researchers found enhanced auditory perception in people blind since birth, exactly like Henry Jackson.
Listening to a bunch of
Czy nie wiem, ja po
computerized
prostu
sound files
miałem
on a
to
laptop is not the
skądś
same thing as
wiedzieć.
hearing my client in person. It was probably a terrible quality
Kiedyś o tym
file. There was no
usłyszeć i
consideration
przełożyć
for the
tę wiedzę na
actual
grę?
location. Who knows what Henry heard?
Your Honor, a police technician will testify that great care went into the preparation of those audio files. They were adjusted to take into account the acoustics of the parking lot and the distance of the speaker from Henry Jackson. The sound files presented were very authentic. You're welcome to review them yourself, Your Honor.
All right, I've heard enough. You did your homework, Miss Carmichael. The court is satisfied that the audio lineup serves as reliable evidence. Henry Jackson is back in.
Hey, Henry.
Olivia!
You recognize me?
Sure, I'd know your voice anywhere.
You know, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, Henry.
I want to.
Hi, Henry.
Abby's nice, but that other lawyer doesn't want people to believe your story. He may be kind of mean to you.
I'm not scared of no lawyer.
Ready?
Good luck, Henry. I'll be watching.
Henry, can you tell us what happened when you got to the parking lot?
I heard some boys yelling, fighting. Mama, she tried to get us into the store, but then the shooting started.
Before the shooting, tell us what you heard, Henry.
I heard a car door open. The keys were still in the, what do you call it? Ignition.
Co? No dobra, chciałem spróbować.
Did you recognize what type of car it was?
Yeah, it was a Dodge Charger, 2011.
To pamiętam, mówił na samym początku.
So, Mr. Leonard said Nina. Did he say anything else?
No. No, he didn't.
No warnings to the gang. No shouting like he was trying to defend himself.
Just that word. Nina. That's it. I'll never forget his voice.
People's Exhibit G, an audio lineup conducted under strict conditions where Henry Jackson identifies Scott Leonard's voice as the one he heard when his mother was shot. So, at some point, your mother said, no, there's no call for that. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Who was she talking to, in your opinion?
Mr. Leonard.
A tutaj które?
You know this how?
He must have got out of the car after the shouting started, because I heard that door chime to his charger. Then my mama yelled at him. Then I heard him shoot.
Thank you, Henry.
Henry, let me first say that I'm terribly sorry for your loss. Henry, you've been completely blind since birth, correct?
That's right.
So you can't see at all.
Objection!
No dobra. I co teraz? Trzecie, nie?
Asked and answered. Sustained.
My apologies. Were you scared, Henry?
Yeah.
What about your mother? Was she scared?
Objection, Your Honor. This is pure speculation, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Let me rephrase. Did your mother seem scared to you?
Yeah, she didn't want me to know, but I could tell because of how her voice changed.
Why were you scared, Henry?
Because of the gangbangers. They're always fighting, shooting each other.
Of course. I'd be scared too. Now, if you were scared and your mother was scared, wouldn't it stand to reason that Scott would be scared too?
Objection, Your Honor.
Znowu jakieś spekulacje.
Speculation.
Sustained.
Withdrawn. Henry, you testified that your mother pleaded, saying, No, there's no call for that. How can you be so sure she was talking to Scott?
She said it to him after he got out of the charger. She was looking at him when she said it.
Looking at him? How do you... Couldn't she have been looking at the gang members, or looking towards the store? She was trying to drag you inside for your own protection.
I suppose, but that's not what happened.
Is it possible she saw Scott draw his gun in self-defense and misunderstood what was happening?
I don't know, mister.
Is it possible your mother, fearing for your safety, thought Scott meant you harm, when in fact all he wanted was to defend himself against those gang members?
I'm sure what I heard. That's not how it happened.
How can you be so sure? The fact is, we'll never know what she was thinking those last few moments of her life.
Yeah, because Mr. Leonard killed her.
Scott was trying to save her life. He might very well have saved yours.
Objection, Your Honor.
Spekulacje.
Overruled.
No
Co?
further questions, Your Honor. And Mr. Jackson.
To co to było? Tak z ciekawości.
Sorry for your loss. Well, Mike, I'm here to deal, but the price has gone up.
Shocking. What's the offer?
3 years of probation and community service in return for a guilty plea to charges of reckless homicide, and you drop the felony gun charges.
Oh, how about we give him a medal, too?
O, a co tutaj proponują wybrać? Bo ja zwykle wybieram no deal, no bo w sumie nie mam pojęcia. A co jest tutaj najlepszą opcją? A,
No deal.
okej.
We're seeing this one all the way through.
Mr. Leonard, why don't you tell the jury what happened on the night of April 12th?
I regret those events. I regret them deeply. But they didn't happen the way Mr. Cutter says they did. Not at all.
Explain for us.
Objection, Your Honor.
Nie wiem,
Am
to?
I crazy or is this plainly hearsay?
Overruled.
I never meant to shoot
Nie,
poor
to
Miss
nie było
Jackson.
to.
I was
Fuck.
scared for my life. Scared the gangbangers were coming again. Coming for me.
Why would you fear that?
Because they killed my fiancée.
And you knew they would come for you eventually.
Yes, I knew they would. That's how these animals work.
Objection, Your Honor.
No i co tutaj wybrać? Ostatnie? Okej,
The
spekulacje.
witness can't know what his enemies, real or imagined, intended for him.
Sustained.
Tell us exactly what happened.
I just went to the Busy Mart for some wine. Now, I brought my gun for protection, you see. I was walking back to my car when I saw Sims and the other guys yelling at each other. I was almost to my car when I seen Sims look at me. I thought he recognized me.
Objection, Your Honor.
No to znowu spekulacje, tak?
Speculation.
Overruled.
Then I seen him raise his gun.
Czegoś tutaj nie
I
łapię.
was trapped, too far away to get to my car. So I drew my weapon. It was me or him. I told him, back off, Sims, but he didn't. And knowing what they did to my Nina, I fired. That's why I said her name. I never ever meant to hurt anyone, especially not Miss Jackson. It was only in self-defense. I deeply regret it.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard.
No dobra, ale cały czas jesteśmy na plus z punktacją.
He's making out like it was a coincidence he was there that day, but it's not.
Your witness, Mr. Cutter.
Excuse us just one moment, Your Honor.
He planned this. I can feel it.
I know, but how do we break him?
Nina. Get him to talk about Nina. Draw him out.
Mr. Leonard. I've got a receipt here from the market on the day of the shooting. You bought 4 bottles of Mad Scotsman. 4 bottles? What were you doing? Getting your courage up?
No.
So, why?
No reason. I was just sad.
Sad about what?
About Nina.
What about Nina exactly?
That day reminds me of Nina.
Why?
It was near to a year the day she died.
Near to? Or...
I can't remember.
Really?
I don't keep nothing around that reminds me of it.
Tak, no bo ma zdjęcie. Co? Jak to? Nie o to chodziło?
Mr. Leonard, the police recovered a newspaper clipping from your garage. It was an article about the carjacking, about the day Nina died. What was the exact date of the carjacking, of Nina's death?
Told you I can't remember.
People's Exhibit K, the newspaper clipping. Please read.
April 12, 2010.
And People's Exhibit L, the receipt. Can you read me the date on this receipt? The day of the shooting?
April 12, 2011.
A year to the day. Did you know Sims had territory near the market?
Yes.
Why were you outside?
Just hanging out.
And the 4 previous days? Also just hanging out?
I really don't think I was there that often.
Tak czy nie? No i jeszcze dlaczego?
David Zemsta
Pasowało mi
testified
drugie,
he saw
ale
you
wolałem
there
się upewnić.
4 days.
It's my neighborhood, Mr. Cutter. I'm allowed to park my car where I please. I happen to like the Busy Mart.
The Busy Mart. The security guard said he saw you there an hour before the shooting. What's that about? Were you lying in wait for Sims?
No.
You're there all week. You're there before the shooting. Explain it, Mr. Leonard.
I was just there to make sure he didn't hurt some innocent bystander.
No, you took care of that yourself.
Objection.
Withdrawn. The boy testified he heard you. Was he there?
Yep, I saw him.
You told the court you were trapped, unable to get to your car.
Yeah, the car was 10 feet away. Door closed and locked. I never would have made it. That's why I drew my gun. Otherwise, I would have just driven out of there.
Henry told us he heard your car door
No
chime.
to trzeciego nie brałem pod uwagę.
Well, yeah, I mean, right. I was mistaken just now. I did leave the door open when I went to the store.
A beautiful car like that? You left the car door open and the keys in the ignition?
I guess I did, Mr. Cutter.
You said you told Sims to back off before you fired.
That's right. I gave him fair warning.
Fuck.
Henry didn't hear you say anything but one word. Can you guess what that word was?
Nina.
You weren't there by chance. You were there for revenge. You cased the market for a couple days beforehand, watching. Then, on the anniversary of Nina's death, you got a little Dutch courage to get you going. Sims showed up, you saw your chance, and you took it. Only poor Shar Jackson got in the way.
I didn't mean for that. It's not like you're saying. I'm sorry, kid. I never meant no harm to your mom. I'm sorry.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
Please read the verdict as it stands recorded.
In regards to Mr. Scott Leonard, as to murder in the second degree, we find the defendant guilty.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want to thank you for serving. Sentencing will take place tomorrow. Until then, the defendant will be remanded into custody. Court is adjourned.
I'm sorry, son. I'm so sorry.
Mama always said turn the other cheek.
She was a good woman, Henry. She wouldn't want you to grow up with anger in your heart.
She'd want me to forgive Mr. Leonard, like Jesus does. Guess I'll try. Will you come see me at my new house?
I'll try and visit you, Henry. But we gotta get you settled in with your cousins. You need family right now.
Thanks, Olivia, for being nice and stuff.
No problem. Good luck, Henry.
Bye, Olivia.
Thanks for seeing us, Mrs. Vincenzo. We really need to talk to your husband, Frank.
You missed him by 2 weeks. You guys want some dinner? I'm making meatballs.
He left town?
He left the planet. Dead, my Frankie.
Sorry to hear that.
What's this about? One of Frankie's jobs finally catch up with him?
Did Frank ever own a gun?
Sure, in his line of work, a bunch. Listen, I know you guys know what kind of fella he was, and I definitely did, so let's not pussyfoot. He's gone, you can't get him now. What do you want to know?
Was Frank involved in a murder around 98? 2 kids in the park, both shot, one died.
Yeah, he might have mentioned that.
He did it for money?
Yeah, only that one he never got paid. Had a falling out with the client.
Who?
Sorry, that's all I know. Frankie never told me names.
So, it was a hit.
But no payout.
So maybe he got screwed.
Or maybe he screwed up.
At any rate, next question is...
Who paid to have Harrison Bedford killed?
Bingo.
No i udało się, z małą pomocą poradnika. Ale jejku, nie wiem ile razy trzeba by powtarzać sceny, żeby się wreszcie udało. Ale kurczę, szkoda, że to nie gość o nazwisku Zemsta był odpowiedzialny za zemstę. Mieli okazję zrobić coś śmiesznego. No dobrze, to tyle na dzisiaj. Do zobaczenia na kolejnych live'ach. Na razie, cześć, pa pa!